Hey YouTube, it's Walter back with another video. Today I just wanted to comment on some stuff I've been seeing in the news lately related to the economy and talking about things as far as unemployment, housing, stuff along those lines. A lot of what I've been seeing out there lately has been surrounded around the fact that um, if you're poor, you're somehow lazy or you somehow don't have a work ethic, you don't have enough education, you don't have enough skills to do what you need to do, and all this other stuff. And it's like, hey, for the most part, people are doing the best that they can. Everybody's not out here with a super huge inheritance. Everybody don't work at places that pay them particularly well. You look at the price of rent being sky high nowadays. It's like out of this world. And so it's like, no wonder people are broke. No wonder people don't have money. No wonder people need more loans and stuff like that. No wonder people can't, pay for home repairs and take trips and stuff like that. You got all these reports out there about how, you know, the travel industry is going down, retail is going down. You got a lot of stores closing right now, like Christmas Tree Shop, Bed Bath and Beyond, Home Goods, Sears, Kmart, all those kind of places like that. And it's like, oh, they're like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, what you expect, you know? My other concern is that um, there's this idea around a lot of economists that somehow stimulus checks that people got a few years back somehow, made their life so much better and improved their life so much better. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as if the stimulus checks did nothing more than highlight a financial problem that's been there for a long time. If you were poor prior to getting them stimulus checks, the stimulus checks should not have been your financial savior. And if there was, that was an indication that you wasn't doing well from the beginning, which a lot of people weren't. And it wasn't just minorities and minority communities, it was everybody and every different type, urban, suburban, and rural. Everybody needed that money at that time. It wasn't like it was just, the poor was so grateful to get it. And we saw that when the checks stopped coming in. I think they only sent out like three checks or something like that. Checks stopped coming in. Next thing you know, now we back to the same thing again. Come on, it's crazy. I mean, they use those checks to justify the inflation, but nah, it's not really there. It's not really there. What I would recommend that they do is they probably need to send people more checks out. I know it's unpopular. I know people don't want to hear that, but they probably need to send people more checks out monthly, similar to what Andrew Yang was. He was running for president in our last election, and he had came up with the idea of UBI, which stands for Universal Basic Income. And so what he was proposing was that, you know, every American get at least $1,000 a month to help defray expenses and other costs that they may have, throughout the month. Which and you do the math on that, it comes up to about 12,000 a year in guaranteed governmental income. A lot of people didn't agree with that. They didn't think it would be worth it. You know, I had a chance to look at everything, and I feel like it probably would help a whole lot of people. Um, $1,000 a month isn't going to change the world, but when you look at the super expensive cost of rent and stuff like that, mm-mm, people can't do it. And that takes me to my next point: housing. A lot of people been you've been if you go on YouTube at all, look at any of the videos and stuff like that, you'll see that a lot of people have been moving to Atlanta. Everybody wants to go down there to ATL. I know a lot of black people want to go down there because it's like the Black Hollywood opportunity. The idea is that if you're in Atlanta in particular, it's like less racism and stuff like that. But all of that just did was just drive up the cost of housing down there. It used to be cheap down there. You go down south, it was known to be cheap. But now I heard the prices down there are similar to what they are up north. Whether you in Baltimore, Philly, DC, Boston, New York, Connecticut, whatever, rent is just too damn high, essentially. So um, that relates to those stimulus checks because it brought up the cost of inflation, and it's just they're like, oh well, how come people didn't save the money? Unfortunately, and I hate to say this, They didn't give enough for people to save. I'm sorry. If you remember those stimulus checks, they weren't monthly. They came out every few months. And if you had any decent type of a job that was like paying you halfway decent to begin with, $1,200 was a biweekly paycheck for a lot of people. I mean, I know now a lot of retail places, like all like the retail fast food restaurants, they increased their prices per hour for what they pay people. Um, Walmart and Target did as well. They went up to like what $17 an hour, 15 for a lot of places, but still not enough. Still not enough. We need to bring down these prices. We need to do it quickly. Um, and I feel like however they can do that is how they can do that, whether it be additional stimulus checks, which I think everybody could desperately use, whether it be the universal basic income that they write into law, that could be something, or they try to come up with something where they have some rent relief and mortgage relief for people out here to help them, be able to survive and make it out here. It's crazy. It's real crazy. So you see it not only, like I said, not only with the labor market, not only with housing, but you also seeing it car notes. Cars are being repossessed out the ass out here. Average car note nowadays is like 500, 600, 700 a month. I've heard car payments for a Ford F-150 going up to like 1,200 a month. Obviously, a lot of people that, they can't pay it. And you say, well, why would you get the loan if you can't pay the car note? And it's like, well, hey, people need transportation. People got to get to and from work. People got to pick up their kids. They got to go to school. They got to do whatever they got to do. You really need transportation nowadays. You certainly can't rely on public transportation in a lot of cities. So, hey, that's what happens. I'm all for capitalism. I understand all that, supply and demand, all of that, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, too damn high. Everything's too damn high. These prices need to come down significantly. Inflation, whatever they want to call it, bring it down. It needs to come back down. Gas prices should not be 3.89. Bring that back down. Bring that back down. Under $3 a gallon. When Obama took office, it was under $3 a gallon. This is out of hand. I know you could get into like the geopolitics, the war in Ukraine, and all that kind of stuff like that. Mm-mm, it's too much. So I'm about to wrap this video up. The whole point of it is just to say that, yeah, people are working hard. A lot of people are not being lazy. People are doing the best they can. But you do get to a point for a lot of people when the cost of living greatly outpaces what people are making. And that's what we're seeing in this economy right now. The cost of living is way higher than what people are making, and people simply can't compete, and it's going to have a negative effect on the economy. Stay tuned. There will be more videos to come. This one was an impromptu video. It just came to mind as I was driving back from getting my coffee. I had on CNN, and they were talking about some things. I just had to make a comment on it. Y'all stay blessed. Have a good day.